With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. It makes right, so he said.
Dirty water, it's tough to tell.
Yeah.
There he is. Yep, that's a nice fish.
Just flip them in?
Yep. There you go. We're on an equal opportunity outfit here. The cameraman fishes at the same time, so Tanner.
That'll do for a first one.
Fish, yeah.
Absolutely.
First decent fish of the day.
Beautiful Lake
Perfect.
Hawaii.
Good enough. I'm gonna run the boat and get me one. Just gonna pass something along here. It's just kind of a little different wrinkle. Most people are familiar with the slow death method, which we have a slow death leader on here. Just a simple white bead, which is good everywhere, particularly good here on Hawaii. But versus running a worm on that, what we found by just kind of goofing around here is a guy can run a leech on there, and what I do is I double hook that. I'll run that through the sucker there, and then if you can see, I'll come back behind and just grab another little piece of it there, and what that'll do is it'll hold it on there quite well so it can get pecked at, particularly if there's panfish around. And I think it helps it twirl a little bit, because what that does, that's doing there, it's just giving it that nice kind of wobbly back and forth motion to it there. And I think that's part of the key too. And they can't just knock it off like they would a worm when they're not fully committing to it. And on a dead rod, you do not have to worry about checking your bait near as much, because you can feel fairly confident it's on there. I'll show you folks another little tip here with the dead rod. See how he's starting to just barely, it's just hanging there. And a lot of times you go to get it out of the holder, you'll end up screwing it up and they'll get off. What I'm going to do is just, I reel down on him, and that got the hook in him. Versus, like I say, a lot of times you try to get it out of the rod holder and they'll come off. He's just a little guy, but it darn sure demonstrates that. There you go. Something I'm doing here, and it's something that's really overlooked, particularly on these Missouri River reservoirs, is using a Lindy weight. So a lot of times these fish are super tight to the bottom, and everybody fishes bouncers. Wrench him in. Just a nice little leader, but what it allowed me to do is judge the attitude of the fish. You can see I did drop a little bit of line, and he got it all the way down. It tells me maybe on the next one, maybe I can just lower the rod back or just drop a small amount of line, so we're not hooking him quite that deep on the smaller fish. On this one, he's a nice little leader. It's good to go, no problems there. But just something to consider when you're on these reservoirs. You don't have to do what everybody else does. Particularly on Hawaii, these fish are cooperative. About anything you're good at will work. Just find a fish, put it in front of them, and reel them in.
Just sat back down with the new Lindy after I got bit off, and lo and behold, another fish hooked up.
Well, it's just kind of, if it's the right kind, he's got some shoulders to him.
Got a long leader on this one.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
Little drummer boy. Say we're about ready to leave. It might have made us stay, but I think he'll make us leave.
They always make you feel like it's a big walleye on.
Not terribly big. Awful shaky. Get the wheel. Thing we are noticing, and this is very typical of Hawaii when the reservoir is in shape and full, is we got multiple year classes This thing is an absolute factory. So it's good to see these little guys. A couple years from now, he'll be good to go. And I'm afraid we got cookie cutters. Yeah, bunch of little guys. We'll make a quick sachet through here. If we don't find anything better, we'll move on. But darn sure little guys. Oops. You can hear the alarm, folks. It shows you just how shallow a water we're in. We're in 5 foot and under here. And it's something on any body of water that is always overlooked as these shallow fish. Because quite frankly, they're easy fish because they're up there for one single reason, and that's to feed. And here's a critical point of it. This was on a dead rod just hanging there. I mean, he absolutely engulfed that. He didn't just take a nip at it, he ate it. So, moral of the story being, I always check shallow first. If you can get shallow fish going, I mean, you're going to have easy action all day long. It doesn't take long to check them either. Whether you're pitching jigs, throwing a crankbait, or putting some live bait through them, if they're up there, they will tell you just nearly immediately. Yeah. There you go. It's a nice little eater. If you can hear over our young mascot we got here with us. And once again, this is on that double hook leech on that slow death hook, which works just perfect as a dead rod. And literally, I don't monkey with it. I let them load it up on their own, and you just pick up the rod, reel them in, and there you go. Oh, shook on him. He's a little guy. Well, he's a borderline. Just showing you the numbers of fish, you know, that's an eatable fish if a guy was really hungry, but we'll get more.
Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Make your next day on the water even better with Airwave Pedestal, the only air suspension system that can be custom adjusted to the weight of the rider. No unreliable springs, no oil-filled shocks to leak. Our patented design utilizes a 2-stage suspension system to smooth out the roughest ride, while limiting travel to an industry-leading 2 inches. This boating season, enjoy your time on the water to the fullest. Find out how at airwavepedestal.com.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
ever so slightly. It's gonna be deceiving depending on how he comes up here.
Yeah, some of them little guys.
Oh, it looks like another
Awful
drum.
flashy, ain't it? No, it's just a,
Oh, it is
just
a
fighting
walleye.
walleye.
There we go.
There you go.
Threw me off for a
the
second.
pan.
That'll work.
You know, and quite literally, we have not went to a spot without fish and without a keeper. So, like I say, we're just hopping around. We're playing learning mode here, but getting a limit of floppy fish in the process.
They're active. They're alive.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, what I'm going to do is kind of give you guys a little bit of a key locational factor, and this is very common on these Missouri River reservoirs, and what you want to look for is, as you can see the white here, what that is that's the old channel, and it comes across the middle of the lake, and then it sweeps up tightly against this bank, and then this bank is also rocky as well. But what that does is those fish are sitting there waiting to see what's going to blow downstream towards them as far as bait, and it's just an absolutely ideal spot. And then, as you can see, it brushes along here and then it goes away. So anywhere right along here is good, and that's year-round. That's through the ice, summer, fall, spring, you name it. It's always worth checking these spots out. It's not terribly big, 100, 150 yards long, the whole thing. Doesn't take long. Bounce in and out depth-wise, just kind of work back and forth. Watch your electronics, obviously. Pay attention to where you're getting your bites. But if you concentrate on stuff like this day in and day out, you're gonna do well. These fish will be coming through there. And it also doesn't hurt to even come back later in the day, because these fish are constantly moving. People think sometimes, well, geez, we had fish here and they quit biting. No, they moved. And a lot of times another school will come right back in there and replace them. So hopefully that helps.
Right. Another good one here. Digging in.
There you go.
Perfect size. Fresh worm and everything. Lively. We'll put him back for another.
Want to eat him or put him back?
We'll eat him.
I was gonna say. We've had our, shouldn't say fill of, but we've stopped live baiting here. We're just going to cover some ground, see if we can't find a little better fish. The biggest fish we've got is probably 18, 19 inches. And what I'm going to do is, I'm in the same general area where we did have some fish. We're going to kind of hit areas that are similar, and actually some of the same areas, because we do know that they're fish there, and cover some more ground, see if we can't find some more aggressive fish. And by covering more territory, we're going to put it in front of a lot more fish, so our odds of getting a better one go up relative to that. We'll just see what happens here. Yeah. Yeah, it's something. There's a baby. Come on, buddy. Borderline eater. Oh yeah. Well, as predicted, this did work. We just no more got our lines out, and sure enough, we get a nice little eater fish there. I think we'll throw him in. We do have our limit of eaters, and then we're just going to do a little catch and release here.
Did he come off?
Nope. Just get control of the boat here. Oh. Oh, happy now. One thing you'll notice I'm doing too is I steer with the electric up front. And there's a couple reasons. One, you get more precise steering. And two, you can do this where you're working on fish, netting fish, so forth, without the boat going in circles, tangling all your lines, which it will do if you're just using the steering wheel. That's the second fish in a row on this same plug, which we may make some note of that. It's yellow and white. It's a Reef Runner 100, which is a very overlooked lure that they make. I like it a lot for these shallow water situations. I really like it off lead core and behind snap weights. And like I say, it's something that not a lot of guys are using. You may want to pick a few up. It's just a different look for these fish. All right, we just connected here. We had one bite earlier with a fish that wants some meat. I like to run a little variety of stuff in here, not terribly big, but it's telling us it's working. So we'll darn sure leave him in the lineup. Another thing with this too is you do not need live bait. I'm just using some, and I'll give you a little tip here on how I rig these up. And it looks kind of counterintuitive, but it does work.
Another fish over here.
Oh, I'll do that in a minute. We'll take this fish. And what we're doing here is our live bait, you know, we were getting fish, but the bite was slow. And with this, we're just picking them up left and right, and we can comb through these, and what we're hoping to do is maybe find a little bigger model. This guy looks to be maybe a little better than the last one. Ski him on in. Just a nice representative eater style fish. I'm going to get the boat back under control. And this is just simple stuff. A lot of folks let this pulling crankbaits intimidate them, and you really shouldn't. And with that, we'll get him out. That's a third fish, just bang, bang, bang on this lure.
High Point Pet Foods presents Country Creations Dog Foods, offering quality nutrition for the life of your canine companion. To fuel the fire of puppyhood into keeping the energy level high of an active young dog, optimizing the performance of the hard-charging adult, or having a quality diet for your senior canine companion. Country Creations has you covered with their quality formulas. Get in touch with High Point Pet Foods today. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
What again?
I don't know, but it is a rattlesnake. Well, folks, we got us an issue. We got Yeah, it's one of them there rattlesnakes, and I don't want him to get down in that stuff. Yep. I don't know how to handle snakes. Go the other way. Uh-oh. Now he's underneath everything. Up the way. Ay, ay, ay. I don't want him up there. Go the other way. Get up them wires. I really don't want him to bit.
Either.
It's most definitely a rattlesnake. Keep an eye on him if I can't see him sometimes. I don't know what to get a hold of it with.
We need something to pinch his head down. Where's he going there?
Oh, I keep it away.
Oh, he's coming back.
I really don't want to agitate him, but now I wish I had a really long pair of pliers.
Did you get him right behind the head
Yeah.
without getting bit?
Trying to. Definitely a rattler because you can hear the rattling. I've never handled a snake before. I might just kill him for a trophy because he didn't want to do us any favors. You know, this has happened before. I've never personally had one get in. I've seen them swim behind, and it's not that they're being mean per se. I think the boat to them is just another piece of drifting wood, whatever, and they're going to slide up on it. But he did have me darn nervous because he was going to get up under the console. That I have no idea how you'd have got it out. I mean, I wouldn't be brave enough to try to search him out in there. So, I don't know how you know when they're dead, but he's darn sure.
You gotta chop the head off.
I guess he does a better job of making it rattle. Well, thank God the fish had left us alone for a minute. Well, we've been getting 15 to 18, 19 inch walleyes and 36 inch snakes. Also, come to think of it, he was headed under the console. When I got under the console, asleep, and he may have been, you know, wouldn't have killed us, probably would have darn sure caused some damage and some pain and a trip to the hospital. This guy's not quite 7 weeks old, and I would have been really upset. Yeah. He's oblivious to all the excitement. Go back to you. I tell you, we just can't keep up with these darn things, and I'm jacking the speed up. We're having a little wind pick up, and with that, as it picks up, I'm jacking the speed up. I started out at 2, went up to 2 1/4. Now the wind's getting fairly strong, and it's switched, which we typically pull with the wind, but it just switched on us because it pushes your bow around. And now I'm up to 255, and they're still hitting it. So what I'm going to do is just slowly push it up till we don't get bit. The quicker you can go, obviously, the more fish you're going to contact. And when they hit those baits moving that quick, they're generally solidly hooked. As you can see here, there are 4 tines of the trebles in there, 4 of the 6 tines. As you can see, we got a nice batch of eaters here to clean up, and we're in Mobridge, and the community, through their activities, they've raised a fair amount of money. They put up a heated and air-conditioned, completely enclosed, obviously, cleaning station. No flies, no mess, no stink. You know, you're in complete comfort on a hot day. And the neat part of it is now a Casca just finished theirs just down the river. So they also have one very similar to this, same type of setup. So it's just another thing that the folks do around here to welcome the fishermen, make everything as easy as they can on you. And quite frankly, all the state ramps have cleaning facilities similar to this. They're just more open air.